You sound wonderful. Together we share, and from this we live. So we're going to take some time this morning to acknowledge and recognize the changes in our lives and to offer one another blessings. Many of us are beginning a new school year. It may be our first year. It may be a new grade. It might be college, graduate school, seminary. And as we begin the school year, some of us will be carrying backpacks. So I invite our Director of Lifelong Learning, Heather Medaus, to offer some words and blessings for the new school year.
Good morning. I am Heather Medaus. I am your Director of Lifespan Learning, and I use she, her pronouns. I invite students, lifelong learners, anyone embarking on a new path or a new beginning, or experiencing a new blessing in your life, to hold your bag, your backpack, your purse, or any symbol you have with you that can symbolize your occasion that you're experiencing this year. If you didn't bring it to your mind, hold it in your heart, and know that it is with you in spirit. I know they are full of important things that will help you be successful during this year. I brought my bag too to show you. What is essential for my work? So what I keep in my backpack. I keep my laptop. Let's see, I'll put it here. I have paper and pen so I can take notes that I sometimes forget where I put them. And I have a first aid kit because you just never know when you might need it and something might go wrong. You always have to be ready, right? So all of these things are important, but they're really just tools. I could do my job without them, but they sure make it easier. There are some other things in here too, that as a Unitarian Universalist, I would find really hard to be without. Like, for instance, I have Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She reminds me to make sure that everyone gets a chance and has their voice included. So she reminds me of justice. Let's see, I'll put her upside down so you can see her. I have a name tag. And my name tag reminds me of equity. To be welcoming and to help every person feel like they belong. I also carry with me the words to our children's blessing that we will be hearing in September. It reminds me of transformation. It's the song that we sing when it's time to go to our classes, and it reminds me to be open to learning and changing because we never stop learning our whole entire lives. The words in the song say, "May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your hearts know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace." So that reminds me of transformation. I also carry a booklet that has our windows that are out in our social room. So it has a picture of every single one with a little explanation about it. And I carry this with me to remind me of pluralism. The windows remind me to use my open mind to learn from others in love and respect and curiosity. I carry a picture of our shared ministries in this church. And those shared ministries remind me of our interdependence, how we all depend on each other. It's a representation, it reminds me that I am part of a greater whole, and that I need to treat others with care and repair any harm that I might cause. All right, and I have a chalice. The chalice reminds me of generosity. It reminds me to share my light and help others with a spirit of gratitude and joy. I think I'll put that right in the center so it doesn't fall off. All right, so I have these 7 items to represent justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity.
Heather, we have a message online.
Oh, okay.
Aren't you missing something?
Oh, am I missing something?
Yeah, aren't you missing something, Heather?
Am I?
Well, you said 7 items and you only talked about 6.
Oh, I see that. You know what? I forgot. Thank you, Laura. All right. Love is at the center of our faith. So I always keep a little reminder close by. I want everything I do to be centered in love. So now I have 7 items to remind me of our values as Unitarian Universalists. These are the things that Unitarian Universalists agree to hold close to our hearts as we live through our days. Okay, I don't always keep all 7 of them in my bag. Some of them hang on my bulletin board, some of them I wear on my feet, and some of them sit on my bookshelf, so I always have a chalice to light. I'll bet that you keep gifts like this too. Of course, sometimes we're tired, sometimes our load is heavy and we have a load of stuff in our bags. Sometimes life, friends, schoolwork, teachers, it just feels hard. And that's when it's good to remember who we are and who we want to be. So as you pack your backpack this year, or your gym bag, or your lunchbox, or your purse, or your briefcase, excuse me, with all the tools that you need to do your daily work, think about your Unitarian Universalist values too, and the love that you carry from Tree of Life. Because sometimes our heads get full and you do need that first aid kit. I invite you to place your hand on your pack, your purse, your bag, your diaper bag, whatever you have with you today. Send it your love. Know that your love is magnified by all of us here with you today, and all of us online at home. And I invite you to repeat after me these words from 1 Corinthians 16 that I found in our gray hymnal. Keep alert. Keep alert. Stand firm in your faith. Stand firm in your faith. Be courageous. Be courageous. Be strong. Be strong. Let all that you do be done in love. Be done in love. And I invite our children and our youth to gather in the social room with me to help me with our next piece of the worship service. Henry and Ella will lead you out as I pack my backpack back up. You can just go right out the back. whenever you ask for it.
Thank you. So I know with my children, when they were younger and even as they are adults, they cover their backpack with all kinds of stuff. And I know some of my children, and I've noticed other adults like to do this, cover their water bottles or their laptops with stickers. So I'm going to invite Ella and Henry and Heather and whoever else they have helping them to bring in some of the gifts that you dropped off at the beginning of church today and some of the gifts that we added to. And while they're walking them in, let's sing one more time, From You I Receive, to You I Give. Together we share, and from this we live. Nice. Yeah, one more time. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. So in these baskets, there are assorted items. There are, in the baskets, there's assorted items. I'm going to grab just a couple samples. Thank you. Thank you so much. There are charms. There are little poofy animals. There are pins and buttons. There are stickers. So we're going to invite you to step forward. Anyone of any age, anyone who feels so moved, whether you're starting a new school, starting a new grade, starting a new job, or you've got some other change going on in your life, or you just like something fancy to put on your backpack or your water bottle. Our tech team is going to play Fire of Commitment, and you can step forward and choose something that you would like to take with you to remind you of just the many gifts that we each bring to this congregation, to this community, to the world as a whole. Don't be shy. There's enough for everyone. So please take your item, whatever you chose. Hold it close to your heart. And just let it be a reminder. Wherever you put this, whether it's on your laptop or wherever you place it, on your backpack, your bulletin board, a reminder that you have a loving community that travels with you. Let it be a reminder that you do not journey alone, and that whatever changes you may be facing in your life, whatever challenges it may bring, it brings with it gifts and blessings. We'll have these baskets out in the fellowship hall, so that if you just getting in line and coming up here I just felt too shy to do that, that's okay. We'll have them out there. Or maybe you pick something and said, I'm not sure this is what I wanted. I want to exchange it for something else. There will be time to look through. I've been thinking a lot lately about the story of the Good Samaritan. And I think it's maybe because of the question it poses of who is our neighbor. Just for a show of hands, how many people have heard some version of the story of the Good Samaritan? Yeah. Pretty much all of us, right? It's just one of those stories that's been told and retold and has become part of popular culture. There's very few of us that will be hearing it for the first time today. But, I am a UU that does like reading and learning about that library of books called the Bible. And I brought with me a gift that I got from my daughter Elizabeth. This is, some of you will know what this is, and other people go, I have no idea what you're talking about, Dave. This is my Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers coffee mug. For those who aren't familiar, this is from a comedy parody about a megachurch, the Gemstones Ministries, run by the Gemstones family. And Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers is a show of Bible trivia. So from time to time, I'm going to throw in a bit of Bible trivia from time to time, especially to get things going and to start up the story. So this story is found in the book of Luke, and it's the only place that this story appears in all of the different books. And the story begins with a bit of a setup, kind of like the words that go across the screen at the beginning of the movie. And the setup is like this. It begins with a lawyer. And in this case, the lawyer's not like today's lawyers. It's not like Randy. This lawyer was an expert. I mean that in all the best ways, Randy. I'm sorry. You're like, I don't know how you meant that, Dave. It just means that the profession was different then. The profession was different. It begins with a lawyer, but then a lawyer was an expert in the Torah, the Hebrew scriptures, and the law that is referred to in those passages that describe how people are meant to relate to God and the agreements between people and God. Okay. So Luke writes that lawyer wants to test Jesus as a teacher and a rabbi on his knowledge. And so he asks, what must I do to earn eternal life? Now, this is one of those baby Bible bonkers moments. Billy Baby Bible bonkers. Because we might think that the lawyer, when he asks that question about eternal life, that he's talking about getting into heaven. Sometimes we may have learned to see it through that lens. But the Hebrew phrase is Haye Olam, lasting life. You see, in Hebrew, there's two types of life. Haye Olam, lasting life, and Haye Shala, fleeting life. So, lasting life is living a life of eternal importance. And fleeting life is living a life that is only concerned with everyday things, with working, with making money, with eating, sleeping, nothing else. Hayaolam, lasting life, means living a deep and meaningful life that is focused on matters of eternal importance. So the lawyer, the Torah expert, is really asking, what must I do to live a meaningful life, a life of lasting importance? And Jesus answers that question with a question, as he does, and says, what does the law say? And the lawyer says, love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus says, correct. Do this and you'll live well. But the lawyer's not done. And he says, and who is my neighbor? Bum, bum, bum. So we're going to illustrate this story, and to illustrate this story, I'm going to need 5 volunteers to help act this part out, act the story out. It's not going to be speaking parts, but just need it's going to be a little pantomime theater. A couple people, I need somebody who would be willing to be the traveler. Who will be the traveler? Come on up. We need 2 people who are passing by. Come on, Irene, come on. We need a Samaritan. Who will be a Samaritan? They're like, Jude, you'll be the Samaritan? And Julie in the back is going to be the innkeeper. Jenny, gosh, I am so sorry. What did will be the innkeeper. All right. So, you can stay right where you're at, because they are going to you're in the perfect spot. You're in the inn. Now, see if I can remember who is who. You're the traveler. Irene, we're going to make you the high priest, if that's okay. And Suzanne is going to be the Levite. And so I'm going to have everybody's going to come stage left. I'm going to be right here. All right, so we've got our parts. So, I need something for our traveler. Are you okay getting on the floor if I put a blanket down, or would you rather have a chair? Would you be okay? I just want to check. So I should have checked.
Who will be
to
the
go
real good Samaritan?
on a blanket. Oh, well, would you rather use the piano bench? What's good?
No,
to be
I'm
more
fine.
comfortable?
I really can't get up. It's just not fair to nobody.
Okay, that's okay. You don't have to do that yet. So, all right. Now, hang tight for just a minute. Got to give a little bit more background information. So, first we need our traveler. And we're going to have our traveler come in. And we're going to skip some parts, but I'm going to have you lay down on the blanket. And we skipped all the gore. Because what happened is that the traveler had been traveling down the road to Jericho when the traveler was attacked by robbers and beaten so badly that they left the traveler for dead. So we fast forwarded past the violence, but here the traveler is lying on the side of the road hurt, and it's a crime scene. So the high priest has a very important role in the temple. The high priest is the one who conducts all of the liturgies and the ritual. So the high priest comes walking down the road, sees the wounded traveler, and steps as far away as possible to keep going down the road. And go have a seat and make yourself comfortable. The Levite is also a very important part of the temple. The Levite actually does everything else. Anything that the high priest doesn't do, the Levite does. So the Levite does all the work, the high priest gets all the credit. It's kind of how, right? So the Levite comes by, also sees our wounded traveler, and just ignores and walks by and keeps going. Now, before we judge them too harshly, why do you think they might have just kept walking? Could have been scared. Think busy. Touching a dead body would make you unclean, be a violation of their religious practices and beliefs. Could be afraid that it's going to happen to them. Samaritan. Yes. Yes. Well, the traveler's not a Samaritan. Oh. Oops. Fooled me for a minute. I was right there with you. No, the traveler's not a Samaritan. But the Samaritan, for those who know the story, the Samaritan's coming next. And this is another one of those Baby Billy Bible Bonkers moments, because at the time it was really common to talk about priests, Levites, and Israelites. Priests, Levites, and Israelites. It was just like an automatic thing. Like if I say snap, crackle, what comes, right? So if I say snap, crackle, boing, that just doesn't write. It just doesn't fit. So when the story says, instead of going priest, Levite, Israelite, it goes priest, Levite, Samaritan. Boing, that's just not right. The Samaritans were hated. They were considered the enemy. They were the other. There were all kinds of stories and stereotypes about the Samaritans being nothing but murderers and rapists. And that's not for effect. Those are the types of stories that were told about Samaritans at the time. And so to bring our story closer to its original meaning, the Jericho Road was a very dangerous place, one of those places that you would try to avoid. So a place that was just known to be a place where crime happened and that you just didn't want to be there. Is there anywhere in McHenry County that fits that description? Where would be the space or area of McHenry County that you would want to avoid, or you hear that you should avoid?
Main Street in McHenry, 1 block south after 9 a.m.
Yes. So, so South Main Street after 9 p.m., after dark? Say it again?
Lots of bars.
Okay, so a dangerous area. So let's say our traveler is from McHenry, could be somebody from your neighborhood, traveling through that space, maybe got lost, maybe had some work to do and thought it would be okay, but is attacked and beaten badly. Maybe looks dead, maybe looks like a homeless person on the sidewalk. A minister walks by, too busy, maybe a little absent-minded, maybe it's Saturday and working on sermon for Sunday. Social worker comes by, has another appointment to get to. Traveler's not on their caseload. And in this version of the Samaritan, let's say our Samaritan is an undocumented immigrant from Venezuela. And to add to the contrast, because In parable stories, they challenged our expectations and stereotypes and turned the world upside down. So our traveling McHenry neighbor is one who wears a red Make American Great cap. But our undocumented Samaritan helps our McHenry neighbor, helps them to their feet, helps clean them up. Wait, you're not done yet? The Samaritan takes our traveler to the inn and pays the innkeeper not only for a room, but extra to take care of the traveler. And then comes back, keeps coming back to check in, make sure everything's okay. In our modern version, our Samaritan might go to the ER, might stay with a traveler and visit him in the hospital room. Can we get all our performers back up here one more time to just take a bow? Take a bow.
Thank you, everyone, for participating in this meaningful reminder of who is our neighbor and how we want to be with our neighbor. Each week as we worship, we welcome the offerings that support the work of community. Many of us have already given our monetary gifts electronically. Still, we set aside this time for the spiritual practice of gratitude. If you're new to Tree of Life, please let this giving opportunity pass you by. Your presence here is your gift to us. As is our custom, on one Sunday a month, we donate our non-pledge offerings to an organization whose work reflects our Unitarian Universalist values. This month's organization is the Youth and Family Center of McHenry County, and we welcome Miriam Figueroa and Lupe Ortez to tell us a bit about the work that they do. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lupe, and I'm the Executive Director to Youth and Family Center, and I just would want to thank you guys for having us here this morning. It's good to see familiar faces, and to let us, opening your hearts to letting us talk a little bit about what God does through Youth and Family Center.
And let me get this closer. My name is Miriam Figueroa. I am the senior case manager and navigator at the Youth and Family Center. For those of you who do not know us, we're also a block down from Main Street. So when you guys were describing that, we're like, oh my gosh, that's us. That's YFC. But I promise, we're safe. We're safe. I would totally help out. And I really appreciate the invitation to be here and join you guys. It's my first time here, and all I can say is that, it's a very welcoming space. So Youth and Family Center, we are located Main Street and the Green Street, but our origins actually started in the Garden Quarter neighborhood apartments. And for those of you that do not know, those are very low-income apartment complexes. And our organization was developed in a way that responded to the needs in community, which is everything that I heard about today. It was a collaboration between like the school district, the police department, other nonprofit leaders, and everybody that just wanted to respond to a really high need of high crime, but also low high school graduation rates. So our youth have been very much the center of everything that we do. From there, which Lupe could explain a little bit more about the impact that we have with our youth. I work more with adults. I work with their parents, with families, getting connected, helping them get connected to different resources in the community, and helping with the things that maybe our youth program facilitators can't help with, which includes like, say that they're behind on rent and they do not know where to go and get help. Say they're living through a domestic violence situation and they've never spoken to anybody about it and just need somebody to support them along the way. We are a resource for them. We help address the language barrier, the technology barrier, the education barriers, and do the best that we can with the resources that are available. So it's been really great to see how in the past couple months since I've known Dave since January, I feel like that's when we first met each other, right? It's been fantastic to see the way that this ministry has really been a part of our story. Lupe has told me that you guys have been well involved with us even before I was here. And so I just love being a part of not just, getting to experience the stories that Lupe tells us when she does come to visit, but also being a part of working with you and serving our community. There's nothing like having somebody else on our side, encouraging us, really giving us tools, giving us ideas, and that helping hand to be able to promote and empower our community. And so, I'll have Lupe share a bit more.
No, I couldn't agree more, and I echo what Miriam is mentioning. A lot of things is like that I've heard this morning is like new beginnings and challenges, and I love the backpack scenario. And the reality is that our neighbors are carrying a lot in their backpacks. And what I do love about this congregation is that you guys don't care what's in their backpacks. You guys provide the values that you carry in your backpack, and those are the tools that are going to bring hope to our neighbors and relieve some of that weight that they're carrying through their backpacks. A lot of those, I could sit here and I was telling Miriam, like, should we say a story? We have many, and you guys probably know many, right? Because you guys don't just open your hearts to Youth and Family Center, you open your hearts to everybody around you. I see it, I feel it. And so some of the stories could come from being newcomers, being new to the country and not feeling welcomed, not feeling loved in your home due to domestic violence, not feeling loved and welcomed at school due to bullying and severe anxiety and depression. The list goes on of the stories that we see, and it really varies. That's a beautiful thing about the community center that we have the privilege of really working and seeing, is that there's not like just one story or one focus, and that is really overwhelming for us. Because we respond, as Miriam mentioned, we respond to community needs, and it doesn't seem like it's ever ending. But you guys, what you guys do is bring hope to us as the service providers. And I just want to thank you guys for that. And we hope that we do our job in spreading that hope to the people that we serve. But you guys are already doing that directly. You guys are more than welcome. As we mentioned, we're off of Green Street and Main Street, but to come and see what your contributions really do. I always say to the people that we serve, it takes a community. They're like, thank you so much, Lupe. I wouldn't have been able to get from A to B if it wasn't for Miriam's service. I wouldn't have been able to, get through this school year if it wasn't for youth facilitators. And I said, thank you, buddy, and thank you for, acknowledging that. You would have, I believe in you, but it really is our community that contributes. About 90% of our funds really come through, other than grants, come through local individuals, and that is something that we take great value in. It takes a community, and you guys are part of that community. We serve over 700 individuals, over 250 youth annually. It's a heavy backpack to carry, and I just want to thank you guys for carrying that with us throughout the years, through new challenges, new beginnings, because you guys, I remember coming here and be like, I can't say much, but I think we might get a new building. If you guys could keep a secret, and here we are, right, at our new building, and you guys believed in us, but more importantly, believed in the people that we serve and our neighbors, whether they look like us or they don't look like us, whether they have the same experiences as us or don't, doesn't matter. You guys are welcoming, and we want partners like that, and we want to continue to have partners like that, and we're grateful to have community members that we live. Both Miriam and I grew up in McHenry County. It's a privilege to serve in it, but it's a privilege to have members and interact with members that also believe in that with us. So thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you, Miriam and Lupe. Thank you so much. Oops, where are we? Here we go. For those of you who are joining us online, you may make your offering in one of three ways, which are listed on the screen. And for those in the sanctuary, we are trying something new today, new to become permanent. You may place your offering, your donation, or simply your gratitude in the plate. But please, everyone, receive the plate and pass it to your neighbor. And when it reaches the end of a row, because we have an odd configuration here, please, if you are able or get assistance, to pass it to the row behind you. We will now receive our morning offerings. In whatever way you give, your generosity is greatly appreciated. We give thanks for these gifts and for all the gifts you bring. Sharing joys and concerns is a sacred moment in our worship. To help us grow in community, we invite you to share a few short sentences about your joy or concern. Like a stone dropped in the water reminds us what affects one ripples out to affect us all. Online participants, you're invited to share a joy or concern by raising your hand, clicking the raise hand icon in the reactions tab at the bottom of the screen. And while those online prepare, those in the sanctuary who'd like to share, please form a line in the center of the sanctuary, and the usher will hand you the mic. I put a stone in the bowl of water for all that remains on our hearts that's unspoken. And we will now honor all shared and unshared cares and celebrations for the space of 3 deep breaths.
I ask you to keep breathing deeply. Center your mind and your body. And we're just going to do a meditation practice that you can do anytime, anywhere. It may be one that you've done before or familiar with. And sometimes it gets called the 4-count meditation, or sometimes it gets called boxed breathing. But the idea is that you breathe in slowly for a 4-count, hold it for a 4-count, and breathe out for a 4-count. So breathe in slowly, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, release, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Very simple meditation, a moment of relaxation, a moment of centering that can be done pretty much anytime, any place, any time that life starts to feel a little overwhelming, and you just need that moment to catch our breaths. I want to offer just a very, very brief reflection to pull together the different threads that we've explored this morning. A reflection on new paths, new blessings, and new beginnings. That our individual lives are filled with new paths, with new blessings and new beginnings. Our shared lives in our communities also filled with new beginning, new paths, and new blessings. The question of who is our neighbor is as critically relevant today as it has been since the story of the Samaritan was first told by Rabbi Jesus. This isn't a time for isolation, either as individuals or as a congregation. It's a time for rekindling one another's flame, as Ella and Henry remind us, for choosing to bless each other and for choosing to bless the world. It's a time for building beloved community, a time for more love and for more courage each day. May it be so. May we make it so. I'm going to ask Ron to join us in leading us in our closing hymn, Spirit of Life. Please rise in body and our spirit as you're willing and able. And Ron's going to...
Spirit of life, come unto me, sing. in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. You may be seated.
I will now extinguish our chalice. If you have a chalice or flame at home, you can do the same. We use these words. We extinguish this flame of communal worship, and now carry its light within us.
As we leave this time and place, we whose journeys are always beginning, we whose lives are filled with new paths, new blessings, each carry our own backpack filled with treasures and dreams, filled with our own sense of purpose and mission, grounded in our values and in our faith. We carry with us the love and light of this community, ready to be shared with those around us. Go in peace, and go and make peace. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.